Anybody that is a huge supporter of season 1 and all the links to the season 1 references were extremely let down by Sunday's episode. I'm gonna address each of the topics from the season. Let me give you the brim truth. One of the most burning questions going into this season was who murdered Annie K? The star-shaped wounds, the kick to her body after she was dead, the cave, her protesting. All of this presented us with a wide range of theories and ideas as to who or what it could be. And they had the audacity to decide that the most obvious choice out of all of them should be the killer, Raymond Clark. I feel in my soul that was just lazy writing. I heard so many more cool fan theories, and him being the killer didn't even feel satisfying, honestly, because of how it was presented. But I digress. So Liz and Navarro find Raymond Clark wandering around the caves. He leads them back to Tsalal through a secret layer from a hatch in the ground. A hatch.
Hatch, Jack. All of it happened so that we could open the hatch. No.
You know how upset I was to find out a show tried to use another hatch? It was like Lost all over again. All of these intricate ways and things that they could have given us, and they had the audacity to give us a damn hatch. When they finally catch Raymond after the most bizarre chase ever, he said that Lund found Annie, and Annie started to destroy all of their research, so Lund immediately attacks and starts stabbing her. Then the other scientists come in and all join Lund in attacking her. That makes no sense whatsoever. There's no motivation for them to become crazed maniacs and try to kill this young girl immediately after finding her destroying their research, no matter how mad they were. Now, while Raymond is telling this story, he's claiming that he wasn't the one that killed her. He loved her, even though the video showed him finishing the job. This whole story is so unbelievable, I think he made it up.
Really? Can't wait to hear this.
I mean, there are so many other questions surrounding the rest of the season that it doesn't make sense if this happened like he said it did. No, Annie kept the relationship a secret because she was doing deep detective work. She was basically running a gambit on him. She got close to him, manipulated him into allowing her access to what they were doing because she had a suspicion that the research center was up to something. He caught her spying and went into a blind rage because of the betrayal, and then he killed her alone.
Ain't that a bitch?
I don't think all the scientists had anything to do with that. I know it was presented to us that way, but I'm not buying it. Now let's talk about Raymond Clark. Why would he have had her coat on? Why would he take her phone back to the Golden Eagle? Why would there be an effigy of a woman in the Golden Eagle? Why would he say time is a flat circle? I still think she got too close to what they were doing and he offed her.
He did that shit. He guilty as fuck.
Plus, him saying that time is a flat circle means he probably got too deep into the ways of Carcosa. He started researching the Yellow King and then got seduced by that entire philosophy. Even if that's not what happened, that's what I'm gonna tell myself in order to tie up this season and have it make any kind of sense whatsoever. Raymond offed her himself in the facility. They all tried to cover it up though by calling the mine. I mean, think about it. Raymond was taunting them. He even had Twist and Shout playing in the background when they got there. If he is as innocent as he made it seem, then why did he immediately attack Liz and Navarro? Why did he run? He could have just told them he was hiding there for safety reasons, anything. It all makes no sense. This entire thing was written poorly and didn't make any sense. I don't understand how Raymond's confession is the one thing that took down the mine. I mean, black water was coming out of the faucets. You don't need Clark to confirm what's going on there. But let's say for argument's sake, his testimony was the crucial piece of evidence to stop the evil mine forever. Why not show them being arrested and them shutting down the mine? Why not show Kate being arrested? Why do we not get a complete storyline for her either? Did she never just think about Hank ever again? What is going on and why didn't we get any of those things? I mean, the mine was a central part of this season. All they showed us was a scene that alluded to the mine being closed. Nothing satisfying about that at all. Kavik was non-existent in the finale. I mean, his character helped Navarro during this entire mission, and she did not even have the common decency to tell him goodbye. All she did was leave him his SpongeBob toothbrush, even after he pretty much begged her to come back. That was a poor way to close out that character, and it was a poor way to close out the arc between him and Navarro. So it looks like Rose was real, she was not a ghost, and I'm not mad that she was real and I was wrong. The whole issue with Rose is that they still don't explain who she really was, why she was in Ennis, and what was the point of her even bringing up Travis Cole. I think we all know why. To suck in viewers, thinking that this was going to have something to do with season 1. I mean, most of all the theories we had were because this leans so heavily into references from the first season. Plus, they still never explained how Rose was getting around everywhere. She walked everywhere, everybody else was using trucks, helicopters. You mean to tell me that Rose, this older woman, was just walking everywhere? It just doesn't make sense. Also, Rose was very meticulous at how she handled getting rid of those bodies. That's probably why they showed her cutting up that wolf in the first episode. It's clear that her and Navarro have a history, but we'll never know because they didn't explain any of that. Why did we never get the scene with Julia where she slammed down the tray in the restaurant and started screaming? I mean, they even gave us phony sequences in the trailer. Why cut that and leave it in the trailer? That's why I feel like it's more to the story, and maybe Issa got direction from somewhere to make these changes. I have no idea, but I can't believe Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson signed off on this finale ending. I just refuse to believe that. The biggest mystery surrounding Navarro seems to be if she is alive or not because of that last scene. So either she is alive and she sent Liz that coffee cup from Hawaii, or she's not alive and that was just a poetic ending they tried to have for the show. But why have her character arc lead her off into the abyss? You mean to tell me she just walked off into the ice? After taking the time to develop her character, make her the central focus of the story, she got resolve for Annie. She found out her real name. She got Liz to more or less understand the spirit world and that it exists. Then she just walked off. No goodbye to Rose after Rose helped her take care of the bodies. No nothing. She didn't say goodbye to anybody. She just walked off. In a detective series, you would think that since they laid out a plan and a whole intricate plot and sequence of events for people to figure out, that they would actually resolve it in some way. It seems to me like almost everyone in the finale, almost everyone in this entire season was just telling a bunch of lies. Nobody was true with anybody, so who knows what even happened. If time is a flat circle, I'm looking at time for this season thinking, did it even exist? Or if it keeps existing and the same way happens over and over and over again with nothing but lies and nothing but fallacies, how can we determine what even is the validity of this season at all? We never got what truly happened to her son. What happened to her husband, Leah's father? Why even bring any of that up in the show? Now, she did get that message from Navarro, which was Holden's spirit talking to her. We see Liz tried to do what Navarro's mom did with that orange and peel it into a one single strip. But why did they need to make it a spiral? Honestly, they may have well not even included the spiral in this season because it was just thrown in there at any point for no purpose at all. It's not our fault that we believed it would play a big role in the show. That was the whole mystery to season 1. The spiral.
That experiment was a fail.
Why would we expect anything less? I mean, it was shown all in the trailers, given to us in multiple different sequences, and paid off with nothing. All we got was Liz at the end saying,
"Some questions just don't have answers."
That was a nice line just thrown in for the viewers to let us know that they are aware that they didn't answer all our questions, but oh well. What happened with Sedna? Now, we were shown all kinds of Easter eggs and references to Sedna in this season. Pictures on Leah's wall. Sedna's picture was outside the protester meeting. We had Darwin's picture of Sedna drawn in the same way as the green-eared spaghetti monster. Why did none of this pay off? Why include this in the season at all if you're not going to reference it, if there's not going to be some kind of connection between them and all the characters? Even though it was fun to research all these nuggets of information that they gave us throughout the season, to not directly have it affect anything and it be such a major aspect of your season feels like a cheap trick to get viewers watching. But for all intents and purposes, Annie K was Sedna, she just didn't get the official name. There was honestly no need for any of that information with this basic story of Raymond Clark ended up being the murderer. This whole season started off with a reference to Hildred Castaigne, which was a key influence from the producer of the original True Detective that went nowhere. Now, in regards to the scientists, I have no problem with women storming the fort, kicking their ass, and them forcing the scientists to wander in the abyss naked for eternity, as long as it makes sense for the context of the season, which it didn't. So you mean to tell me these men are animals who murdered a young girl who snooped around their facility and they have no weapons? They were running scared and put up no fight at all. Highly unlikely, which is why I believe the cleaning ladies were lying as well. Plus, why didn't Liz or Navarro remember the fingerprints from the clothes immediately and question Blair? You would think that if a handprint on a hatch reminded her of Blair, that the fingerprint that they had a printout of the entire season would also clue her into Blair. That was a gimme clue during the season. You would think if they are doing basic detective work that would have been high on the priority list. Plus, like I said in the last video, those women knew what the spiral was, but we got no explanation as to why she drew it on Lund, why he was the only one to have a spiral drawn on his forehead. There was no clear-cut use of the spiral this season except as a MacGuffin to hoodwink the viewers. I mean, these ladies were better detectives than Danvers and Navarro. They found the hatch. They found the tool that was used to murder Annie. They took pictures of all the evidence and put it together. They rounded up the scientists. They did all the work. Some people may not like how I feel about the season finale, and that's okay. All I can do is keep it 1,000 with you and give you how I really feel. That's the whole reason why I'm in this, to tell the truth about how I'm really feeling. And not only that, but I'm supporting my claims. I'm not just out here throwing things at the wall hoping that it sticks. I didn't like the finale. It just wasn't that good. And I think that's actually a bonus to how the season was, because the season was so good that they gave us this mediocre finale.
Oh, it's horrible.
When in reality, it could have actually been way better. It could have been way bigger, well more thought out. Now, I don't know if they got rushed, which is why they made it a 6-episode thing. Look, I don't know what happened with it. They dropped the ball in the season finale. And it is what it is. It has nothing to do with being a toxic fanboy. And I'm seeing all kinds of stuff like all the men out here that hate women and all this stuff. It has nothing to do with that. And not only that, but I'm telling you why I don't like it. Because they started off building everything around references to season 1 and then paid none of it off. Now, if they never included that, that would be something different. Then we have a different review here. But they didn't. They based it all around things to hook people in, and then they suckered everybody in and then dropped the ball. It is what it is. We don't have to like everything. I like 5 out of the 6 episodes. It's still a passing grade. This finale was not good though. This finale was a fail. All right. And I know they can do better. I know they can. But a lot of shows let us down like this. And I'm not going to be quiet about shows letting us down like this multiple times over and over and over again. Lost. Hell, the last season of True Detective, the whole season was beautifully done until the finale. And I felt like it was lazy writing and that's the way they ended it. It can happen. You can disagree with something and it's okay. I still support it as far as the season's concerned because 1 through 5 was very, very well done. Chef's kiss, everything about those episodes I enjoyed. This one I just didn't, and that's what it is. But I would love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions on it. Let's talk about it in the comments, all right? I really thank you for hanging out with me during these breakdowns this season. There's so many mystery series, so many thrillers on the way that I'm gonna sink my teeth into, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, all right? So look, until next time, please be safe and remember, always speak your truth, all right? I'm out.